In this first episode, I'm going to go over the basics of just setting up an HTML document with all the necessary components to get started with coding a basic game. Won't be anything intense, just a basic canvas, and just showing you how to send basic commands to the canvas to draw things on it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, so first what you're going to want to do is create a text document. Pretty simple. And then just name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Cam. Then what you want to do is, if you have Notepad++, edit with Notepad++, but you don't need it. All of these ideas will still transfer over, but it'll be a lot easier if you download Notepad++. I'll put a link for that in the description. If you are using Notepad++, just make sure you change the language to HTML so that you can actually use it correctly. Then we're going to be assigning the doc type to HTML. That's just a really simple thing. It's not completely necessary, but it's just kind of a backup thing. It just make sure it tells the computer to treat this file like an HTML document. Then we're going to want to create the basic elements for the document. So the HTML document is just like where you put everything. Head is where you put things like the title, and then if you want to do style, it's where you put style. And sometimes people will put script, but I put my script in the body. I never really had issues with that. Speaking of title, this in the head, so right here is where you put whatever you want the name of your document to be. It'll just show up on the tab. You'll see in a second. Just game tutorial, and you can put stuff like that. All right. Now I'm going to want to create the canvas. This is going to have a lot of different attributes and stuff just to make it, fit and stuff, but that's fine. I'm going to want to wrap that in a center element just so that it'll center in the middle of the screen. It looks a whole lot better that way. And we want to give it the ID of canvas. This is so we can reference it in the script later. The width I want to be 500. It's pretty arbitrary. Like, the width and the height really depends on what you're planning on doing with it, but I just set it to 500 to begin with, and if I need to change it later, that's what I do. And then just one little quick style choice, just so that it's easier to see. I want to give it just a border, so border style. And if you have trouble following along at any point, you can copy the code from the description. I would recommend against that unless you kind of understand what's going on. You just want to make sure that you have it perfect. If it's not working, but try to do it on your own first. And then if you want, you can put a little message here. There aren't many places that aren't going to support canvas elements anymore, but if you want, you can just put a little message here, like that's not useful. Your browser doesn't support canvas. This message will only show up if the browser that you're using doesn't recognize canvas as an element, which most browsers do, so it should be fine. That's just a little fun thing you can do, because most likely they're not going to, doesn't really matter. Okay, script element. Anything within these brackets is going to be seen as JavaScript. So yeah, so we're getting into the real meat of the stuff now. So we're going to want to reference the canvas by the function document.get element by ID, and then the ID is going to be canvas. So now the variable canvas equals this element right here. So now we want to get the context of that to be something that we can actually send commands to. So var context, or CTX, just stands for context. It's just what a lot of people use. It just makes sense, and it's simple. It's just going to canvas dot get context, and then the context of 2D. Cool. That's not how I do quotes. All right. And then, so that's pretty much all of the basics down, but just to show you something, so you're not just creating a canvas and being left there. Just one little fun thing that you can do, just to make sure that it works. ctx.fill style, that sets the color of fill commands. You'll see in a second what I mean by that. Just set it to red. You can send any type of string that equals a color here, so that's either hexadecimal notation or RGB. It's just, but also basic colors work there. So red, and then ctx dot fill rect, and this will be, that's what I mean by fill style. It changes the style of commands that are fill based. So this will be a red rectangle, and then the first number you want to put in here is the x, and then the y, and then the width and height. These are all just arbitrary numbers. I'm just so it's going to be 40 pixels to the right, 60 pixels down from the top, and then it's going to be 30 pixels wide and 20 pixels tall. Just completely random, just big enough so that you can kind of get the idea. And then you're going to want to just save this as, and then this will be in the desktop. I'm just going to call it, game, and then make sure it's saved as a hypertext markup language right there. And so just save it, and then you can find it right here. It'll be right here. Well, I don't know where it's going to show up for you, but wherever you saved it, you'll find it. And you can just open it up. And so right here you have the, that's what I meant by, that's the thing that, right here, game tutorial, the title, that's the title, the tab there. And then there's a little rectangle that we created, and this is the canvas border. And yeah, and then one more quick little thing. In the body, we just went to style. This isn't necessary, but I think the white is a bit blinding. So background color, and then I just want to make it off black just a little bit, so a little more gray than black, and save it. And then so once you have it saved as, if you just save this document from here, it'll automatically after this, and then to run what you're seeing, to run what you just coded, saved, you can just reload the page and it should show up. And so yeah, there it is. There's the border, and this is the background color. The canvas won't draw anything until you actually send the command to, so it's just going to be transparent, but you can see the rectangle imagery right there. And yeah, that's everything. So yeah, I hope that worked out. I'm going to put all the code for that in the description. I'm also going to put the download Notepad in the description, and in the next one I will do more things based off of setting up a game. Yeah, I hope that's all made sense to you. Thank you for watching.